How's it going, y'all? It's turn-based here, and today I've got a pretty fun video for you, a little different than what I usually do. Instead of doing a normal guide on the Akihiko side of the SOS boss, we're actually going to do a 4-star A6 closer with A6 Chord instead of the normal Akihiko boss. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I just think it's cool. I think it's fun. Obviously, building a 4-star character that gets basically no burn ever, and using her on the other side of the boss could be, you know, just like a fun little experiment. I did a little bit of testing for this. I've not optimized this like at all, but I did build out my 4-star closer. As you can see, I have the card set fully built out, or pretty well built out. Here's the stats. Pretty good. Pretty good on the crit stats. Maybe some higher molt, but it's good enough. I also have obviously the 2 skills that matter maxed out, which rest in peace to my, what are they called? The rainbow level up materials. And then obviously we've got the 4-star weapon, not the 5-star. You'd be crazy to have this. Also, I don't know if you like, maybe if you had the 5-star weapon for this one, like it'd be fine, but I don't know. I don't have that one either, so we're just gonna rock with this. Everybody else is pretty standard in terms of what they got. We've got Chord on creation and reconciliation. This is not a guide, but I will say if you want to like follow along, if you don't have Akihiko, then you might want to put Trust and Prosperity there, and then I have Nativity and Power here. And then the reason why I'm doing that is because I have an R5 weapon, so I'm getting the highlights off at the right time. And then in terms of our personas, it's very standard. We're just going to be doing the, scroll down here, got Dionysus, going to have Rebellion, obviously going to be using Cert with Marakunda, and then we've got Thor, which is going to be having the Thundercaller ability. So, should be pretty standard, should be alright. Obviously there's, you know, potential for change here and there based on your own setup, but again, it's not a guide. I just wanted to, you know, put together a cool little demonstration of getting a pretty good score. I'm not going to spoil the number yet, but I get a pretty decent score with a very, very, very bad unit. And part of that is because Chord is just so freaking good, but I think it's going to be fun regardless. I don't always live this fight, so I'm going to do my best to just casually talk over it, and hopefully I don't ramble too much, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to do this fight a couple times. But yeah, this is different from like the voiceover speed up editing style that I do. I'm just going to have like kind of a chill video where I kind of just talk about the game and show some gameplay off. So I think that's all I've got for the intro. Let's get into the fight. Alright, getting into the fight here. I'm not really going to cover my gameplay. I'm just going to do what I do, and you guys, if you want to follow along, you can just watch. But I'm just going to talk kind of about what I feel like in general, how I feel about anything. Mostly about the state of the game, and mostly how I feel about people thinking about the game, which, in my opinion, is sometimes I think people get a little too wrapped up and, you know, we'll use distortion here, a little bit trapped about like pulling the characters and chasing the scores and having a quote-unquote value account and what's good value. And it's like, well, the highest value is what's the most fun. And this is a good example of like, well, you can have fun with like a 4-star character. I think it's really cool to try and get really good scores with teams that are like objectively terrible. I mean, 4-star closer is an atrocious unit, but you know, with an A6 closer, like, or A6 Chord, like a really good support, and some clever team building and enough investment in trial and error, you can have a rotation that ends up scoring pretty freaking good. I think that's really fun. That's really cool, and that's interesting. And that's what it's all about. It's all about doing interesting and fun things, and that's how I think the game is fresh. Is when you take things and apply your own personal like rule set to them, or own personal philosophy. Like, it's like how do you enjoy games after you beat them once? Like, oh wow, I'm gonna speed run them, or oh, I'm gonna, I don't know, like do whatever basically. Like, let's say you wanted to like, if I'm playing, like, I don't know, here's another game like Elden Ring. How do I keep finding fun with Elden Ring? I'm gonna have a new build. I'm gonna go strength build or intelligence build. It's like same thing here. It's like, how am I gonna keep up here? Well, I'm gonna do, I don't know, like like 4-star characters in Astrolabe, all 4-star characters in Astrolabe, no twins, or I'm gonna like go into the SOS and I'm gonna use like, I don't know, like on Joker's boss, I'm gonna use Sumi, like the worst character in the game, absolutely, and I'm gonna make it work. And that's, I think, how you can keep the game fun, you keep the game interesting for longer for yourself. That's what I think it's all about. And this game is not a job. It is not something where it's like, oh, I have to keep up with the characters, I have to keep doing these, you know, bosses and stuff. It's like, I'm gonna do what I think is most fun. And what do I want to use here? Is this Revolution? How much crit do I have? 73. So I probably do want to do, well, if I think about it, it's the crit from the shock is also another 10, so it's 83. And then eventually I'm gonna have the crit rate from, which is, it'll be close to 90, so I probably just want to hit Tarakaji here. But yeah, like for example, the process of me going through and like getting the card set, I don't know, sometimes it's kind of fun to sit back and be like, I'm gonna build a card set. Obviously it's like, oh, I'm using mats, but like I have so many coffee aids, or was that what they call it? Or like the candies. I have so many of those materials, and that I feel like if I really like, I can just sit down, burn through like 30 of them, and I'm like, oh, I'm sitting on like 200 candies and another 150 coffees, and like I'm never gonna use this in my life. So I'm just like, well, let me build this character, and like once you build the character, it's like, oh, I'm not building it ever again. Could I use that to optimize another character like a 5-star DPS? Yes, and I absolutely have. I have done that. Like my Makoto build is really, really strong compared to a lot of my other characters. I have like very, very, very good card sets on that. And, you know, to me, that's more interesting, to have that. Are we gonna live? It's gonna be close. We're gonna have to see. But yeah, and like another thing I wanted to talk about, probably use the crit rate. Yeah. Another thing I want to talk about is like the weapon dilemma, where, I mean, I made a video on this, and it's the same kind of thing of like when we're discussing, you know, when we're talking about characters and stuff like that in terms of value, and we're saying things like, oh, this character has good value to your account, this like weapon is really strong because it's good value, or this character, like sometimes that takes away from the whole point of things. And I don't really like that. I think it's the value is the gameplay that you find it most enjoyable. I was looking at some damage numbers earlier, and Summer Miyu's weapon is, I believe the difference between A0 4-star and A0 R0 is somewhere in the range of like 100 million. Oh, please don't target me. There we go. One more. Be nice. There we go. Is somewhere in the range of like, again, don't quote me on this, I think it's like 100 mil to, or sorry, like 150 mil to 200 mil. Like that's kind of like a general ballpark there, like 160 to 210. So, you know, that's like a pretty big increase. But what if it's like, I don't know, this is just for example, what if it was like no character versus character? Okay, well then we're talking, I'll go this one. If it's like character versus no character, then it's like, okay, that's like, maybe if you did, even if you had Yusuke but like no Cherish or no supports or like whatever like that, it would be maybe like 30 to 40 mil all the way to 200 mil or like 150 mil. Like that is a way bigger difference, right? Is pulling that character versus weapon. And it also, you have the gameplay of like, I have a new character that I think is cool and interesting. So that's what makes sense most to me. I don't know. Again, maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm different than other people, but I kind of don't think that that's the case. I kind of think that some people just get a little blinded by the chasing the score, chasing the number, and be like, well, I don't want to pull this character because I feel like it's gonna get power cracked or whatever. It's like, man, just play the game. Just shut up and play the game. What I do want to use, which one do I want to use? I want to use this highlight, actually. Boom, we'll use this one. But yeah. And again, that's why I got the idea for the video, because I'm like, how could I do something that's cool and interesting, something a little different, it's good because it's like kind of like a talking about how to keep things cool and interesting. How do I make my channel and do YouTube videos that are fun and interesting? Because yeah, I like making the guide videos, but I want to make more videos. But sometimes I'm like, how do I get started? And the answer is, well, I have to start making different kinds of content. And the different kinds of content that I'm making is like, okay, well, instead of making guide videos, let me make just like general gameplay videos. I think that's cool and interesting and fun or whatever. We'll use yeah, we'll keep going here. Pretty sure that makes sense. And obviously, like, it depends from person to person. Some people are like, I hate SOS and I don't care about scrolls. I'm just gonna use everybody's nightmare. Like I'm just gonna use the main DPS that everyone has in like the guild for the Nightmare Gateway boss, and then that's what I'll do. Like, that's totally good. Just do that, and don't worry about SOS. It's not important at all. Like I said, the materials that you get from completing SOS, not worth it. Promise you, it's not really bad. It's not important. I mean, it's not nothing, but still, the difference between that and like 7-star, 6-star, like between 8-star, yeah, it's not significant. But back to closer, as you can kind of see, like the score that I'm getting here is pretty good. Like it's not bad. It's not world changing, but I mean, I'm already hitting 36. I'm probably gonna get close to 40, even maybe 50 if I get, I don't know, lucky or whatever. But like, I didn't cover the Akihiko boss guide. That one's all like the standard rotation there is like 100 mil, 110 or whatever. Here we're like, you know, we're all the way at we'll do this one. We're all the way at almost at 50, almost half of that. Now, granted, you have to have A6 Chord, and you can't use the twins or Miku on the other side, which in my opinion is a way bigger downside. That's way more of a loss, is being like, okay, well, we can't use some of our other better units on the A side. But still, like, let's say you didn't have an A side, it was like, this was your A side. It's like, oh, well, hey, not that bad. Really not that bad. And also, this gives me an excuse to use A6 Closer. Now, or A6 Chord. Now, I do know Barry's coming out soon, so I'll be able to use her with Chord very well, very soon, and I'm super excited for that. It's going to be super awesome, because I think Barry's really cool. But, you know, until then, you gotta wait. You gotta keep it going. And, alright, 42. This wasn't as good as I got a couple other times. I don't know, maybe I did something a little differently, but, oh, well, it's 44, which is actually not too bad. So, 44 million, compared to, like I said, Akihiko, I was getting, you know, 97 mil to 110 mil, kind of depending on my rotations. Obviously, that is using Anj instead of Miku, and I didn't have twins. Like, I was like just doing the standard Akihiko with Turbo, and I think I was using Yukari, but I think also I tried using Windvast or whatever, and yeah, it's obviously better, but hey, this one, it actually kind of works. And let's say you did have, you know, what's her name? Let's say you had Summer Miyu, then what am I looking? I'm trying to find this boss. Like here we go. Let's say you did have Summer Miyu, yeah, use that on the other side, and use Anj with her, because Anj is just as good. And then you use Miku over here with your closer, with your 4-star closer, and all your A6 units, and then boom. Like, hey, that'll probably be better than trying to, I don't know, force. Maybe you could use Haru. Probably should just use the C and Y team if you have it. But I mean, obviously, just use the best on element team that you have. I think that's usually the best that you can get it done with. I'm not gonna cover the cert boss, unfortunately. The reason for that is because one, as you can see, I don't have Cherish. I do have Yusuke, but I have no Cherish. So that's one part of the team that's already down there. Now I could probably just go like, okay, let's go Yusuke and Windvast for crit and Summer Merit. I mean, maybe that could be fun, but I'll give you a light spoiler. The numbers here are terrible. The numbers on 5-star Mont are terrible, and the numbers are on 4-star Mont is like 10 million. It's like 10 to 20 million. It's like actually so disgustingly low that it's not even worth it. So just honestly, just do whatever. Do literally whatever on this side. It doesn't matter. But that'll be it for this video. That'll be my 4-star A6 closer with A6 Chord rotation guide / exhibition as I yap over it with, random nothings. Looking forward to, obviously the berry patch, but hopefully I think I want to do like a weapon kind of quote unquote tier list of I'll go through every weapon and I will like put the numbers together and be like, okay, what numbers do you get on every single character's weapon? And how do they rank up compared to each other? I think that could be kind of fun. Obviously it'd be a little tricky, but I think maybe I could just run some bosses, like a generic boss. I wish we had like a mode. This is like totally a tangent, but I wish we had a mode where there was like a sweeper and a single target scoring boss that was very generic, had no like weakness, but didn't attack, and was like you could just like a training dummy, and you can get scores by like switching out the 5-star weapon versus 4-star weapon, or maybe you could even like lock some of your awarenesses, like I could have an A1 Chord versus A6. That could be kind of an interesting idea, but that might be a little. Maybe that would be like maybe something like 2 people total did, and I was one of them. Like I think I'm the only person who would find that interesting. So, regardless, maybe we'll do a weapon video. Maybe there'll be some other news that I'll cover. Obviously, we're probably a couple months away from Persona's 30th anniversary, so looking for some big news there. But yeah, in the meantime, I hope y'all enjoyed this. That's all I got for y'all today, and I'll see y'all later.